Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm James.
And last week we lied to you. We said Wizards was not going to give us any more content.
Yeah, well.
And then there was a Mythic Championship, and they spent like the 2 days before just like blowing up organized play.
Right.
Digitally and in paper. So we have stuff to talk about.
Sure.
I've promised to not take too hot of takes.
But we've got some very strong feelings on this topic. So
yeah, so if you have strong feelings, you can tweet at us at Casual Tripod.
You can find us on Facebook at Casual Tryhard MTG, or you can email us at show@casualtryhardmtg.com.
Now, before we get into the Magic news...
Yeah, we have some podcast news.
We have some podcast news. We are now TCG Player affiliates.
Woohoo!
That's right, we are semi-legit now.
Yeah.
So basically, we now have a link that like James kind of like put together from the instructions we got.
We're old, so don't mind me.
He did better than I did. I kind of skimmed it and like put some stuff together. But basically, we're gonna start we're gonna put this link in the show notes, and we're gonna tweet it out. And what this link does, if you click on it, it just kind of takes you to like the Magic section of TCG, and anything you buy after you click on this link, it'll be attributed to us,
Right.
And we will get a teeny tiny little cut.
Yeah, it's not much
from TCG Player,
but it's something.
But it is, it is something. Yeah. Our podcast hosting costs are not zero.
Correct. We have spent a non-zero amount of dollars to make this podcast.
So this is a way that if you're going to buy cards on TCG Player anyway, you might as well
hook us up.
Yeah. It's not going to cost you anything extra. It'll support the podcast a little bit.
Yep. And to be clear, we're not saying everybody has to run out and buy everything on TCG Player, because we're both about, supporting your local game store, right?
Yeah.
I try and buy as much from them as I can. But they don't always have everything I need, and sometimes there's like a time issue where I need something by a certain date. So TCG Player is, in my experience, one of the, as long as you're buying direct, it's really fast shipping, and you can find just about anything on there.
Yeah. I wish we would have been an affiliate before I put in my Cyber Monday get 10% off order.
Yeah.
To just buy random semi-staple legacy foils for my legacy deck.
Or before we bought a combined 8 Mox Diamonds before the last Legacy GP.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, I was driving to Cape Fear Games and just handing them stacks of fetch lands from cons. And getting Mox Diamonds in return.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so we're we're semi-legit. Maybe we can blow up and TCG will want to make us a real deal.
Hey, that'd be nice, right?
Yeah, we can see.
Yep.
You should have seen it, though. I did a really good job, hard selling the podcast.
It was great.
In the briefly describe your podcast.
Yeah, it was really good.
I went real deep. I sold you guys as an audience real hard. So
hey, it worked. We got a response almost immediately.
Yeah, it was the next day. They're here's your code. It's all right, awesome.
Yep.
So we're getting legit. Also, my semester ends, I give my last final on Friday, and grades have to be in on Tuesday.
Nice.
So I have 3 or 4 weeks where I don't really have a job. They still send me paychecks. It's the best kind of unemployed ever. But during that time, I'm going to try to get us a website kind of up. I thought it might be good if we could do something like that to maybe not write articles or give ourselves a bunch of work, but we could have a section where it's this is what we're playing in standard and have the deck list up. So just more than a Twitter space and things like that. Just whatever kind of comes up.
Yep.
And just where we're going to be, because, people want to follow us now. We're the big time.
We are the big time.
And when we started this podcast, I was a man with a plan.
Yes.
And I reserved the Patreon for the Casual Tryhard Podcast. And every few weeks I get an email from Patreon that's hey, why don't you set up your account? And I'm all in due time, Patreon.
Baby steps.
Right? So maybe over this break we'll set up a Patreon as hopefully a way for people to support us if they want.
Yep.
You don't have to. Yep. But just, all the cool kids are doing it, so might as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, we're not looking to make a paycheck off of this podcast. We do it because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
We like helping you guys out. But like you said, our hosting fees aren't zero, and we've bought a whole bunch of equipment. So it'd be nice to get that covered.
I mean, if you get the word out and we get like 50,000 downloads a week and we can like get a paycheck.
I'm in for that too, but
yeah, I'm in for that. If there's like a podcast sugar daddy out there who's going to give us like $1,000 an episode, like I'm in. You're going to get 15 episodes a month. Let's go.
That's right. If we do, cover our expenses and have a little bit left over, though, like we can do cool stuff like give backs or, some swag or contests or whatever.
If you have ideas for what our Patreon levels should be,
let us know.
Let us know, because I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So this is we've not been part of the like creator/gig economy in our lives.
No, we've only been creating. We haven't been taking.
We haven't been part of the economy doing this.
Yeah.
With that, we are legit. I'm going to tweet that out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, James's dream of a question and answer podcast
has been met with crickets.
Yeah, we have no questions. We have many answers, but no questions.
I have all the answers. I just need questions.
We just need questions. So if you have any questions, please send them our way.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know you're out there.
Yes, please. I see download numbers.
Yeah, like 300 something.
Yeah, random podcasts from like 3 weeks ago or like 3 months ago get downloads, so people are finding us. We just need to convert those people into like interaction.
Yeah, talk back. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, you're the Reddit guy. Maybe we should have like an r/casual tryhard.
I can set it up if you want.
There we go. Just one extra thing for us to like
one
be confused
extra thing
by.
For us to keep track of.
All right.
One more set of alerts on my phone. That's exactly what I need.
So, I guess the biggest news in competitive Magic was the Mythic Championship this weekend.
Yeah.
MC7.
Mm-hmm. It was Arena Mythic Champs.
Yes. It was. I think I watched or listened to pretty much all of it.
I caught a couple matches day 1, a couple matches day 2, and I didn't catch any of day 3.
I watched all of day 3. I sent the wife out to get Christmas presents, and I just sat and watched Magic, and then she came home and was like, there's still 3 more rounds, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got sucked into Rebels over this weekend, and I fell in a black hole and couldn't get out.
It's fine. So the winner was Peter Golgofsky.
Mm-hmm.
Kanister from Magic Online and from Arena on Jund Sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
His build was different than everyone else's.
Okay.
I think he was the only person on 4 Korvold.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Korvold, if it resolves and you have any combination of cards that say sacrifice on them, you typically just win the next turn.
Yeah, you bury him in so much advantage that...
No, there were people that's you're at 16, Mayhem Devil, sack a cat 6 times, make my Korvold an 11/11, attack for lethal. Multiple times this happened.
Lethal, okay.
Just lethaling people, not just I drew 15 cards. It was oh, you're dead. I think BBD killed someone from 18.
Wow.
Korvold, untap, they were dead.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. If your local Walmart or Target has one of the Korvold decks, you might want to get it, because I'm guessing that Korvold is... I haven't looked. I'm guessing he's probably $20, $30.
Yeah, I think he's $25 right now.
Yeah, so you could just buy that deck, send out the Korvold, and end up with a free Shockland for your troubles.
Arcane Signet, Command Tower. Arcane Signet's still expensive.
Yeah, you could just end up with just free stuff.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the metagame was, we had a bunch of Fires decks.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most played archetype.
Yeah, you said a quarter of the field, 15-ish?
15 out of the, I don't know if it was 68 or 67. One of the participants
couldn't make it. Yeah.
Had a visa issue.
Yeah.
So Chris Kavartek, who made top 8, got a bye round 1.
Really?
Yep. Damn. He was I've had really good luck this year. I even got the bye in round 1. It's all right, cool.
Yeah, good for him.
So 12 of those were Jeskai.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Rakdos Fires deck, which is a Mayhem Devil Cat Oven Bantu deck.
That's odd.
Yeah, you just get to slam a Bantu, sack a bunch of stuff off your Fires.
Oh, yeah, you can't sack all your lands, I guess, because that makes Fires less good. But
yeah, but there was that, and then Kenyu Kahira showed up with 5-color Niv Mizzet Fires.
Oh boy.
And Shota Yasuoka showed up with 5-color Golos fires.
All right.
There was some spicy meatballs in there, but mainly it was Jeskai fires.
Okay.
Only one. It was the most played deck. One of them made top 8. Mm-hmm. And I know at like halfway through day 2, they were commentary was talking to Paulo Vitor Damarosa, and they were like, "And you're the last person on Jeskai Fire still alive in the tournament."
Wow.
Like, and I think he was at like he might have like locked at like 5-1 or something. Yeah. But everyone else had been eliminated pretty early on in day 2.
Cat oven for the win, huh?
Yeah, and then next up was I have it like cat oven. Like, so there was...
Any of the sacrifice decks.
Yeah, they were mainly, like, Jund.
Well, there was a bunch of green-black ones, too.
There was green-black, Jund, and red-black.
Yeah.
I just kind of lumped them all together as...
the sacrifice decks.
The sacrifice decks. Like, because I just looked at it as, like, cat oven as the engine.
Mm-hmm. And then whatever else you put around it, whether it's Mayhem Devil or Midnight Reaper or Corvold.
Whatever the other like kind of piece is.
Yep.
And if you took all of those as an aggregate, green, black, Jund, and red, black, that was 19 of the 68, 67 decks. So almost
a pretty good chunk.
Like a third to a quarter.
Yeah. Were there any lists that were running your engine where it was Great Henge with the cat oven?
No. The only Great Henge deck was Chris Kavartek. He was on green, black Adventures.
Okay.
So he had Edgewall Innkeeper and 14 adventure creatures, but he also had Rotting Regisaur to go with the Great Henge, something that I had like played around with in that green-black deck.
Yeah, I think we had talked about it a couple weeks ago. That's why I was asking.
Questing Beast and...
Well, he was on Lovestruck Beast too.
And Lovestruck Beast, as what is his adventure creatures.
Oh, yeah.
And then 4-mana Vivian.
Okay.
To give you a Reggie Trample.
Right.
Yeah. And so he had the more aggressive slant of all those. Like people went the most of the green black decks. I think they were like evenly split for the adventure decks. Were like kind of the traditional green black grindy decks.
Yeah.
And then the new hotness was Lucky Clover.
Okay. So the new hotness is the old hotness?
Yeah. Yeah, we've come like full circle that is like like people were citing in like what is that card? Harvest Fear and the not standard playable side, the 5 black 4/5.
Yeah, the Reaper or whatever.
Yeah, against like more controlling decks, they were like just discard 4.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so they were like bringing in that package to go with Lucky Clover that was in their board, and like I think Ali Warfield was on that. I think Cat Light was Autumn Burchett. Who else? Cat might have been on a more grindy version of Green Black, but I know Allie and Autumn, I'm pretty sure, were on the Lucky Clover.
Yeah,
I knew I was going to call it Lucky
Charms.
Yeah, I knew it. Standard seems to be just okay. I guess the deck of the tournament I should probably talk about.
Yeah,
is Simic Flash / Ramp.
Right.
So I kind of lump these together as Nissa decks, which doesn't sound right for a traditional Simic Flash deck.
Right.
But the traditional Flash decks now are on Nissa. I'd seen it on Arena and just thought people were crazy because I was like, this doesn't make sense. But
turns out they're not crazy.
No.
Turns out Nissa's really good.
Javier Dominguez, Seth Manfield, and Brad Nelson had basically put in Paradise Druid and Growth Spiral and Nissa in like the blue-green Flash shell.
Yeah.
So they had a ramp element to try to get to Nissa and to be able to cast their 4s on turn 3 so like it could Frilled Mystic something on 3 or just get an Ambusher down on 3 and get it super far ahead. But then they had Nissa, and then Nissa just like buried people. Like the whole tournament, all the commentators said was, oh, like if they get to untap with Nissa, like the game's over. Like that's all that matters is just getting to untap with Nissa.
Were they playing any Krasis or anything? Or
I think they were on like 2 Krasis in the Flash list, maybe 2 or 3, and they had Chemister's Insight. So they had a bunch of 4s, so you didn't know if they had up Frilled Mystic, Chemister's Insight, or
Night Pack
Ambusher. And then there were like 2 or 3 blue-green, just like hard ramp decks.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrea Mangucci was on like Elementals ramp.
Yeah.
So had 4
Risen Reef, Leafkin Druid.
And Cavalier Thorns and like 2 quasi-duplicates.
Whew.
And then also had 1 Agent of Treachery, 1 Endray's Forerunners.
Oh, yeah.
And
Pig 'em.
And Finale of Devastation.
Okay.
He multiple times did it for 10, got the pig, like was attacking with 17, 20 Leafkin Druids.
Wow.
Happened multiple times that he just like deaded people.
Wow.
And you might be like, well, that's interesting. That exact list also top 8'd the GP in Australia. Like it was one of the people he worked with went to the GP in Australia and top 8'd it.
All right.
That's another just Nissa deck. And then Esper Bateau, he was on a blue-green ramp deck as well.
Okay.
Different build than
Mangucci,
but it was still just trying to like play big dumb idiots.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so like the format for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
God, is it still
if
6
anybody
weeks?
cares.
If anyone cares.
Is it really 6 weeks? I guess it is still 6 weeks.
This format has just felt like it's gone on.
Yeah.
Even though it's been like
3 different formats.
New, like 3 times, it just has felt like so.
I think that's because of coming off of the summertime, though. Like this summer, everything came out like rapid fire. We had War, then we had Modern Horizons, then we had the core set, like all one raid after another.
Like with a month in between.
Yeah. So it just felt like everything was super quick. And then, like, this one is usually like a week or 2 longer than the rest of them anyway.
Yeah.
And it just feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like it's just not been none of the versions of the format. Maybe this one is the best version of it, but like none of them have been like fun.
Yeah, none of them have really been super interesting to me either. Even though I do like this Sacrifice Corvold deck, that's right up my alley. But I mean, I was on this deck in the previous iteration of this standard.
Yeah,
like I don't know, it just seems like I've been playing it for too long.
Like the Pantheon, so like Andrew Cuneo, William Huey Jensen, and Shahar Shenhar, a couple others were on Is It Flash?
Yeah.
Basically, the deck I had been playing in like into Oko with like some of the changes I had initially made, like they were playing Scorching Dragonfire to try to exile cats. Everyone was on like the blue-green decks and the blue-red flash decks were on Sorcerer's Spyglass to turn off Oven or Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about maybe that was something I should have done at the GP was have the Spyglass for the Cat Oven.
Well, I mean, also Oko or Nissa or...
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to play Spyglass.
But that was kind of a consistent thing. But I think it is like the flash decks are good because Fires is one of the most played decks.
Yeah.
They're bad against all the green-black decks because all the green-black decks are playing 1 to 3 mana, maybe 4 mana things.
Right.
So all their counter spells are always trading down in mana.
Yeah.
And if you get an Innkeeper out, like you just run them out of counters because even if they counter your card, it replaces itself.
Right.
So you run them out of cards. So like the green-black matchups are bad. But there are no like aggressive decks. There's nothing like... Even though green-black plays, like, little things...
It has a long game plan.
Yeah, the only, like, aggressive deck that was green-black was the Chris Kavartek deck.
Yeah.
That just, like, would run people over.
Yeah.
So there was no one to, like, punish the, like, I'm going to, like, pass with 3 mana up.
Was that the only Regisaur deck was the Kavartek list?
Yes, it was the only Regi deck that I remember that was on camera, and I think he may have been the only... There might have been, like, one other one, but I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah.
There were no Ember Cleaves in the main. The blue-red decks had Ember Cleaves in the board.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I like that.
I had thought about it because it gives you, it can speed up your clock.
Right, but how many times you're swinging with 3 to 4 guys?
I mean, even if you just swing with like a Brazen Borrower and you make it a 4/2 double strike, it can be good enough.
Yeah, I guess if you're just closing a game at that point, but you're spending 5 mana and like not holding up any type of reaction.
Yeah. But they had like 2 in the board.
Yeah.
And I also think like it's another way to deal with like cat oven.
Yeah.
Right. So they like you put it on a bone crusher giant, and now they can't chump it with their cat.
Right.
Yeah. So there weren't any. This format had like no aggressive decks at all. Like red black or like Mardu Knights just did not exist.
Yeah.
So, which was super weird. And that's what they kept saying. It's like no one anticipated there being any aggressive decks in the format. So no one's decks.
There was a Knights list at the GP, though, I think, in top 8.
Yes, there was one like Mardu Knights list.
Yeah.
I tweeted out all of the thread that Channel Fireball had.
Yeah.
I think there were like 4 or 5 fires lists.
It seemed like it was all fires.
It was like fires, the Menguchi ramp deck, the Knights deck, and like one other random thing. But it was basically all fires. So there you go. There's kind of the breakdown from the MC.
Yeah, for the metagame or whatever.
Yeah, the metagame.
There is also kind of another part of this tournament that I don't want to go super deep into because parts of it might not be interesting for everybody. But the way that they're doing organized play now kind of forces you into this long, like, overarching story that's oddly similar to, like, NASCAR.
Yeah. Or just, like, any kind of sport where you're, like...
Well,
where there's, like, a cut.
What I mean by similar to NASCAR in particular is that, like in other sports, you're following a team, whereas in NASCAR, you're following a driver.
Okay.
Whereas, if you're a fan of, like, the Patriots or whatever, everybody each has their individual stats or whatever, and whatever you're doing. Whereas, like, NASCAR, it's just a driver. Like, I understand there's, like, a whole team behind it, but you're just following the driver, and that's all that matters. That driver is trying to qualify for, the cup at the end or whatever it is. And that's the way that this is kind of set up. So we've gone over all the changes to, like, how they're organizing this in, like, over the summer when they released all this information. But this tournament locked in, I believe, everybody for MPL and Rivals.
This is the last event of the year, of the season. So it did lock the MPL, the Worlds, Rivals, all that stuff.
Yep.
The thing I didn't like, and it was they were trying to, like, make this, like, try to make it dramatic. And
well, I mean, it was, though. Like, there was a lot of people that were very close.
Yeah, but, like, the thing was, none of them were playing. Like, LSV was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And, like, his fate was in, like, 3 other people's hands. So, like, there was a lot of people that were like, well, they're not here.
Yeah.
So there's not as much drama. It's like, oh, how well is he doing? Like, it's like, no, he's, eating a burrito in Denver, and he's not, like, part of this.
Yeah.
So, like, that was weird. Like, the people that were, like,
But there was also
racing,
people that, like, missed cut due to tiebreakers, which is super close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it goes both ways.
I think, like, Christian Hauck missed MPL.
Yeah.
Because he finished, like, 17th on breakers, and he needed to finish, like, 16th. Yikes.
Yeah. It's rough.
So throughout the weekend they kept putting up the world slots. There's like MPL players in worlds, like the top 8 MPL. Then there was the top 4 challengers, and then like the top 4 like paper players or something. It was kind of a weird. So there was like multiple like leaderboards you went to.
Yeah, kind of weird the way they did it.
Yeah. But we do have everything locked for next year.
Yep. I believe you tweeted these out. Is that where I pulled these from?
I don't think I did.
You didn't?
So maybe I should have.
Okay. Somebody did. We don't have to go over every name here, but is there anybody you want to talk quick about as far as like MPL?
Think maybe the MPL is 24 players this year, down from, was 32 before, correct?
Yep.
And so there are 20 returning champions. And there are 4 new players.
Right.
So 3 of them are like long established Magic pros.
Right.
Right. So you have Ralph Levy, who I do believe is in the Hall of Fame.
I do believe.
And has only missed like 1 pro tour in the last like 20 years. And that was because his kid was born this year.
Yeah.
Understandable. Then you have Gabrielle Nassif, Yellow Hat, if you want to follow a streamer. Long time.
Has been playing forever.
Hall of Fame member, has been playing forever. He's the one who famously laid out Cruel Ultimatum mana and then flipped a cruel ultimatum to win his top 8 match. Like a million years ago, back when there was a brief time where Magic was on ESPN.
Yeah.
Like when ESPN was like really hurting for like things to fill time.
Like
and
ESPN 14 or something.
The Ocho, thank you.
The Ocho.
And that was like before lawnmower racing was a thing to fill time. It was Magic. And so if you want, like, you can get on YouTube and watch some grainy like video of Gabriel Nassif playing Magic like in 2006. And you have Andre Strasky, also known as Honey. He's a streamer.
Yep. Your boy.
Yeah. Makes all the decks.
Yep.
They just started a website, The Check House.
I saw that.
And it's him and, what is his? Stanislav Sivka, who also has won a Pro Tour. But Andre Strasky won Mythic Championship 6 and has been killing it this year and got his MPL slot.
He really has been killing it.
Yeah. Now, I think that was a brief intro on everyone. I think the person that is maybe most interesting to the folks at home might be Chris Kvartek.
Yeah.
Chris Kvartek had a final that he had to take Friday to Saturday. So this is just a dude from like Long Island or something.
Yeah, New York somewhere. Yeah.
New York. And he's just a dude.
Just a dude.
And he has qualified for 2 of these Mythic Championships, 5 and 7, by like going through the like horror show qualification process that is Arena.
Yeah.
So finished top 1,000 Mythic. And then won an MCQ weekend where it was like him and like 2,000 of his closest friends.
It's crazy.
And he made it in. He is kind of the like everyman story.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet from his girlfriend where like 2 or 3 years ago when they started dating, he said that like his goals were to like day 2 of Pro Tour, maybe one day make Worlds.
Yeah. And
he made Worlds this year and like finished top 8 of a Pro Tour. Yeah. Maybe 2. I forget how he did on the MC5. I think he did really well there.
He did do well. I don't know how well.
I don't know if he made top 8 or not, but I know he made day 2.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, so he's just like a guy. Like he is the positive side of Arena in the current like system is.
He's the beacon of hope.
Yeah, he like it's the democratizing power of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like he can't go to a million GPs,
right? Because
he's in school, but he can like play Arena for 2 hours a night,
or whatever.
And I think he's like a bartender too. He's like a bartender, goes to school and then like plays Arena and somehow has a girlfriend. I don't know how you work all this stuff in.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
But I think he is. I'm not saying like play Arena a million hours a night every night, but he is kind of the like, hey, like this is something that is.
Somebody did it, so
somebody did it. Like maybe you can do it too.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should have like played. They like talked about how he like made it through the hard way, but like I think they should just been like, no, this is like the everyman.
Yeah, they should have played it up a little bit more. I did see the clip where he was talking about trying to get out of his final on Friday.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think he's the most interesting guy.
Yeah.
Just because he's also come with different decks than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like the last one, everyone was on like kind of a longer game, grindy, like Oko. Or was that? No, that was Field of the Dead.
Yeah, it was
and
Field
he was
of the
like
Dead.
brazening, borrowing people and like just trying to get people dead.
Yep. He was on like a tempo version of the deck.
Yeah, with a game with 4-mana Vivian. And then this week he was the only person on like the Great Henge, Rotting Regisaur, Vivian. So he's definitely like put together different decks than everyone else as well.
Yep.
The next tier down, so you have the MPL, they get the big contract.
Yep.
Then the next tier down are the rivals.
Yep, they get a little bit smaller contract.
I think they get invited to a few less things. They have to earn their invites to like some things.
Yep.
These are
a lot of people that are no slouches either, though.
Yeah, these are the 8 people that kind of got bounced from
the
MPL. Plus then like the Mythic Point winners.
Yeah.
And then paper thing, some combination of things.
I think there was some discretional invites in here as well.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of different stuff. So you've kind of got like a mix of like old guard and...
I mean, you've got Kai Buddha and LSV are in rivals.
Yeah,
alongside Jess Estefan.
Yeah, and Simon Gertzen.
Yeah.
From the coverage booth to like rivals.
Booth, yep.
This is an interesting group. Secretly, I did like the plan that I think was it Jacob Wilson tweeted that they should give Savitsa's slot to anyone who got more mythic points than him with because he took no opportunities. He was last by a hilarious margin.
Yeah.
Everyone was clumped together, and just Stefan had 42 or 45 points and he had 32. That was the biggest drop anywhere on the thing, was just Mister, I'm going to stay home. Maybe you should have put someone in here who gave a damn.
Right.
But
it wasn't him.
It was not him.
No.
But again, you have some Hall of Famers. Eli Cassis, he tweeted out that he had some health issues this year, and then things kind of turned around when his daughter was born. So he just he's a professional. He's a psychologist, a therapist or something.
Yeah.
And has a kid, and somehow managed to
secure a rival slot.
I guess top 8ing MC6.
Yeah.
Probably didn't hurt that.
Matt Nass is in here.
Yeah, Matt Nass. Yeah, again, MPL guy.
Yeah.
That kind of fell out.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a good group. I mean, they have Greg Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Was Greg Orange a discretionary invite? Because I don't
know. He did better this year than he has been in the past couple of years. I think he top 8'd a PT this year. I think.
Oh, he did.
I
okay,
think so.
Because I know he top 8'd the team one.
I think he did. I think he hit one after that too.
Okay, though. And then we have the last thing that got locked, and this has pictures and it's harder to read.
Oh yeah.
Is
Sorry.
that's right. Is Worlds.
Yeah, I can't read these either.
So, and I don't know these faces well enough. I could probably figure out how to use technology and
make it bigger.
Make it bigger. Oh God, it went away. There we go. So, Worlds is the PT winners from the year, or Mythic Championship winners, or whatever terminology we were using at the time.
Yep.
MPL, I think, was the top 4 or top 8 people in the MPL. Mm-hmm. And then some people that kind of got in other ways.
Well, right, because Javier was, he had 2 wins this year.
And he's the defending world champion.
Yeah, so he couldn't occupy 3 slots.
Yeah, so some people snuck in to the spots that Javier was otherwise occupying.
Right.
So there were some people that were rooting for Javier to win, because if he took that spot, they would slide in.
Yeah.
So it's Javier Dominguez coming back to defend the crown.
Yep. Andre is invited.
Andre Ostrowski?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Gabriel Nassif.
Yes.
Who we just finished talking about. Autumn Burchett.
Yep.
One with
Mono
Blue, right?
Pooh.
Yeah.
And is the 2-time British national champion.
Yep.
Ralph Levy, who we talked about.
Marcial Carvalho.
Yep. Really good limited player, and all around very good.
Very good. I really
Eli Luffman.
Oh, yeah?
You may remember him as the guy who won the last PT, I think the last PT, or the first MC on Humans. It was Modern.
Yeah, yep. Okay.
People pointed out, he won a PT and then has been invited to nothing since.
Well, he got invited to Worlds. So.
He got invited. He earned his spot to Worlds.
Yeah.
Seth Manfield, again, he was the world champion 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep, is in the MPL now.
In the MPL,
yep.
He's at Worlds. Andre Maguchi got his world spot by finishing 3rd or whatever at this event.
He's been on fire this year, though.
Yeah, he won the Mythic Invitational. He top 8 MC5 and then top 8 of this one.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I'm not gonna remember his name. I can't read his name. Mateus Lavarado.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
That is the Argentinian guy who beat Brad Nelson at MC5.
Oh, I know who that is. That's the guy that looks like the guy in the curse cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and
the unluckiest
he's also the guy they had to censor his little phone bit on the Magic stream.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what is the talent that you have? And he's like, I'm really good at chucking beers. And so they they mute beer and say water. But right. he is kind of the Chris Kvartek.
Yeah.
He qualified through Mythic Championship weekend and then played Nexus to Fate like an animal and just beat everyone.
Yep.
And he won the whole thing. And then we've got Sebastian Pazzo, another Argentinian.
Yep.
I can't read the one over him. We have Paulo Vitor Damarosa.
Yeah.
The all-time leader in earnings for Magic.
The one above him is Thorolf Severin.
Oh, it is Thorolf Severin. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Toffel.
I knew it was Germany, but I couldn't see it. And then you have Peter Gogolski, better known as Kanister, who just won. Now, I'd like to point out, like, we were like, Andrea has been crushing it, but if you think about it, like, Kanister was in the finals of the Mythic Invitational.
Yeah.
Won this one. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty good.
Well, I mean, when I said that Mengucci's been crushing it lately, there's like 4 people that have been absolutely killing it this year. Mm-hmm. And it's like Mengucci, Javier, Kvartek, and Kanister.
And, I mean, Brad Nelson would like to point out that he always finishes second.
True.
Yes. Yes. You didn't see that tweet?
I didn't know.
He was like, perks of dating me. I always come in second.
Okay, then. News brief from the bear.
Yes. Chris Kvartek.
Yeah.
And then John Emmanuel Deprov.
Yep.
Who is an MPL member.
Yep.
So that's going to be...
He also had a PT win this year, right? Or an MC win.
Maybe?
I think he did.
Okay. Again, we're super enfranchised, and like, you do 7 of these in a year, and they just all like start to...
Yeah, I mean, they used
more
to
than
do
7.
They used to do 4, right?
Yeah, and it's more than 7 because they had like the first 2 regular PTs, right?
Yeah.
And then we went to like MC in like May.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of professional Magic to keep up with.
These are going to be in like February.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that they're going to be... I don't know if they've announced the format. I don't know what the structure is.
I think typically it's standard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like standard and... Is it standard and draft? Usually it's a split format.
Yeah, well, I believe it was draft last year because when Jerry bowed out last year...
They had a pod that had 7.
Yeah.
Which they should have just let like one of the judges draft.
Yeah.
Just make sure the pod worked out.
You just sit here, yeah. You can draft, but you're not playing.
Yeah, exactly. You pick a color. Send good signals. So that is the Worlds field. It's a smaller Worlds field than normal. Worlds is usually 24. Mm-hmm. And apparently the prize pool for this is $1 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of prize for 16 players.
Yeah, that is pretty all right. It's like, I'm trying to do the math. It's like $65,000, $62,500 a player, I do believe.
Yeah.
That's more than I'm making a year.
Yep.
So
you and me both, buddy.
I got to get better at Magic.
Yeah. So now we got a hot topic.
So we've done Worlds.
Yep.
We've done all the things that Wizards gave us that involved people playing Magic in front of us.
Yeah.
Now we have
things that Wizards is taking away from us.
They can't leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
So they've announced changes to organize play in paper.
Yep.
And that change is there will no longer be GP buys.
Yeah. These are the buys that you would earn from Planeswalker points?
Yeah. So if you hit certain Planeswalker point thresholds, it was $1,250 or $1,350. I think it was $1,250.
I think it was $1,250.
So if you had 1,250 Planeswalker points, you would get
a buy at every GP you went to for the next year.
Yeah. So from whenever you got 1,250 till the end of that Magic year, which ends in like May.
Yep.
Through the next Magic year.
Yep.
And so Planeswalker points, if you play in paper, if you did what we told you to do 2 episodes ago, which is get a DCI number and then register it, they'll track your Planeswalker points. And you get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw.
No points for a loss.
And there's some multipliers depending on the event.
Yeah, so like the more players, even if it's not an event with just a strict multiplier, you do get multipliers based on how many people are in that event.
You get participation points. So if it's a small event, you get 1, and then you hit a certain threshold, it goes to 2 points.
Yep.
So if you played an FNM that was, let's say, 16 people, and you went 4-0, you would get like 13 points. You'd get 3 for each win plus 1 participation point.
Yep.
So it's a grind.
Yeah.
Like it's 100 FNMs in a year, which there's only 52 Fridays, so that doesn't work out for you.
So you need a time machine.
You need a time machine or a time turner if you're into Harry Potter.
Yeah, sure.
And then, so it was a thing that players, and I assume you guys' level, it was something that you could work towards, right? You would go to your FNM and you get a few Planeswalker points. You'd go... Pre-release, you'd get some Planeswalker points.
Yep.
I think there's even a multiplier for pre-release or something.
I think there was too.
Like
I think it's like
2?
a 2x multiplier.
Right.
If you went to like a PT or a PPTQ or a PTQ or an MCQ or whatever, I believe they had a.
I think PTQs are like they're like 4 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter now.
Right.
What it was good for is if your goal was to day 2 a GP, right? You could work towards that goal by doing FNMs, by doing PTQs.
Yep. Just by playing a whole bunch of Magic.
Because you would get, like, 1 buy having to go 5 and 2 is significantly easier than having to go 6 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, even just playing 7 rounds instead of 8 is a huge deal because, like, day 1 of a GP is super mentally taxing.
Now your tournament doesn't start until, like, 11.
Yeah, you can sleep in just
You can sleep in, you can get like, a good breakfast and show up at, like, 9.
Yep.
And not be rushed or anything.
Yep. Got some time to browse the vendor tables.
Yeah, so that's going away.
Yeah.
And it really hurts. Like we went to that PTQ, and I finished 4th or whatever, right? But it was like, you know what? I got a bunch of Planeswalker points. Like maybe I could sneak in 2 buys next year. Like maybe there's a chance that I could.
Yeah, I mean we're halfway through the season and we're halfway to 2 buys.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, maybe we can get there. Like, that'd be really good for the following year.
Yeah.
So, like, I wasn't happy that I didn't win.
Right.
But
it was something, though.
I felt like I had something. It was like, oh, I actually have a thing.
Right.
I accomplished something towards a goal of getting buys, and now that's gone.
Right.
So there are people that are, like, super all in for there being no buys.
Yeah, those people are animals.
So I guess we should say there were kind of 3 levels of buys.
Yeah.
There were the 3-round buys, and those were for Hall of Famers.
Yeah, only Hall of Famers, as far as I know, had 3 rounds.
Platinum pros in the old system used to as well.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe MPL people had 3 rounds as well. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You could get 3 rounds if you were a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And then if you ground enough points, you could get 2 buys.
Yeah, it's like 2,200.
It's 2,250 or 23,
something like
that. And then if you got to 1,250, you got 1 buy. I think that most people who play a lot would get 1 buy.
Yep.
2 buys. I think I've only had 2 buys like once because it's a slog. You have to play so much.
I only had 2 buys once, but that's because I won a GPT.
Oh, okay. Well, I had 2 buys for like a year.
Yeah, I never had 2 buys for a year.
Yeah, but it was a slog. I played a lot.
Yeah, that was like when you first got in Magic, right?
And like my wife lived out of town, so like I could just like play like 4 events a week.
Yeah.
A slog.
Yeah.
Is a lot of Magic. So right now we're halfway through the year. I checked the world standings for Planeswalker points. Mm-hmm. There's probably 110 to 120 people right now that have earned 2 buys.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah, it's not many.
And we're 6 months in. So maybe it gets to 200 by the end. Would have got to 200 by the end of the year. And they're not all showing up to every GP. Right? So it's a couple hundred people. Mm-hmm. So I guess on one hand, you can argue, well, it's only a couple hundred people.
Right, but those couple hundred people earned it.
Yeah. So there's a group of people that are like, it's cool that there aren't buys. It's not fair if I don't have an opportunity to earn buys.
Yeah.
Or, I heard an argument that if a lot of players, like I assume a lot of you are on Arena, if you're playing a bunch of Arena, there's no way for you to earn buys on Arena.
Right.
I mean, they could do like GPTs on Arena.
They could. They could do GPTs in store again.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't.
So I am like hard against no buys as my Twitter response to Magic point out.
Jace, right?
Oh, then Jace got back at me.
Yeah.
And Jace was like, why don't you just get good if you want a day 2?
Yeah.
And it's like, I had never contemplated that, Jace.
Right, thank you.
And I like walked up to like replying and like getting in a Twitter fight. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And then James came in and was like, no, it doesn't matter if you don't have an LGS. Like, you can't earn a buy just going to your LGS.
Right. I think we figured it out. If you 4-0'd every single FNM for the entire year and won every pre-release at your local game store,
you get like 650 points.
You were halfway to a buy.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not an argument.
It rewarded people who, like, put on pants,
Right.
left their hometown
To go play somewhere competitively, and were consistent at it.
Yeah, and we're like reasonably good at it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a lot of work
There's a
to
lot
do
of
all
work.
that. And it was a way to like reward that. And like I guess I kind of see like there were times where I'd be like, well, no wonder like all these pros are day 2ing. They had to go like 3-2.
Right.
But at the same time,
but at
it was
their
like,
point,
whatever.
like they're starting in a harder tournament.
They are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're starting at the 3-0 bracket.
Right.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, like what was odd is you'd see people go like 3-2, and then be like, you know what? I don't think my deck's good enough. I'm not going to play day 2.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Or I think it's better EV for me to go play this PTQ
Yeah.
as opposed to continuing in the tournament. So you saw some of that sometimes too, where people would like drop with like,
Yeah.
I don't think my deck's good enough. Was it Seth Manfield when he was trying to get like Player of the Year? He day 2'd the Legacy GP,
Yeah.
dropped, and then went and played the Standard GP,
Yeah.
and then like top 8'd that and got Player of the Year. Like I guess I could not ever imagine like day 2ing a GP and being like, you know what I need to do?
Not playing this GP.
Something else.
Yeah.
So, you day 2'd. What's your Saturday involve? Not doing this. Doing anything but. I think it just hurts the players that are like at
Our level.
our level.
Yeah. Like us specifically.
Us specifically. And I mean, and I think our listeners, like
Yeah.
if you decided like 6 months ago, if you were like, hey, I want to become competitive at Magic.
You want to be a casual tryhard.
Yeah, and I wanna like day 2 a GP.
Yeah.
I think the first thing to do is like play a lot and try to get a buy. Like that would be the
First step.
first step.
Yep.
Right? Just make it a little bit easier on the day. Playing all of that Magic's going to make you better.
Yep.
But then you're going to start with just a little bit of a leg up. And that's gone.
Yeah.
Now, one of the arguments Wizards has made, and I've read different things about it, by eliminating buys,
They can change the tournament structure.
they can change the tournament structure.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what that means.
So I read some stuff, and again, I did not go thoroughly vet this, that basically when it comes to the number of rounds you have to run in the tournament, that someone with like 2 buys counts as like 4 players in terms of how it impacts the number of rounds you have to run in your tournament.
Okay.
To like make
Yeah.
the Swiss pyramid work out.
Yeah.
So
Well, right. But then you run into I'll let you finish. Sorry.
So the argument was that it makes it so you can run different tournament structures because you don't have to guarantee people buys.
Okay.
I was listening to Magic FM and Mashi Scanlon, who runs CFB events, said something that made me want to like choke someone, which was, yeah, not having the buys will make Walter more stable. Walter being the Wizards' large event reporter.
Yeah.
So yeah, the software is trash. So if we get rid of the buys, it won't crash
It'll
as much.
fix that.
Ah!
Like my counterpoint to that is I've been playing in GPs now for 5 years.
Yes.
4 years, 5 years, whatever.
Something like that. I forget because we went to our first one like right around the same time.
And every GP I've ever played in was 15 rounds. Mm-hmm. And then I cut the top 8.
Yes.
Regardless of whether it had 3,000 people or 600 people.
Yes.
It was 15 rounds.
Yes. I've seen people suggesting that maybe they go to a system that is closer to the Arena Mythic Championship system.
Okay.
Where maybe it's something where it's like you play till you get 5 wins or so many losses.
Okay.
And then that locked you for day 2. And then they do something similar. Or like they then like wipe the slate and they run
start over for day 2.
They start over for day 2 in a smaller tournament.
Yeah, that's interesting. My point was like you made the comment about every person with buys counting as multiple players in the tournament. That math doesn't track though.
It doesn't.
Like I've played in 2,800, 2,700 player GPs
in 15 rounds,
and I've played in 500 player GPs.
Yeah, I think that where that might be is where you don't have the flexibility to do something where like if they did something where you played 5 or to win 5 or till you lose 3 or 4 or whatever, they could then just hard drop people.
Right.
Right. And then you would not have that, like, you know, god awful last table that's going to go to time plus 10.
Right. Every round.
Like slowing down the tournament.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's fine. But at the same time, though, like, if I pay $70 to play an event,
Magic.
to play in an event, and, like, I want to play, like, 8 rounds.
Yeah, not go 0-3.
Yeah, not get,
not
like,
have the chance to
like,
play. Garbage
pairing. I'm on my last GP.
Yeah.
Win, worst matchup in the room, slow person.
Well,
now I'm done.
It kind of goes back to another point that I made when we were talking when this news dropped, that this, and it can be seen from good or bad, but having buys kind of divides the room a little bit too. Like if you show up to your first GP, you've never played in a big event before, and you sit down across from Reed Duke.
Yeah, you're 0-1. Congratulations.
Right. And then somebody else had, you know, an awful mirror match. Say PV and Huey had to play first round.
Yeah.
One of them had to lose.
Yeah.
So then you sit down across from them second round.
Yeah.
You never had a chance, and you never had a chance to play any Magic because you just lost 2 rounds
in a row.
Yeah,
and if there when there are buys, you have a bunch of people that are perhaps newer.
Right.
That are going to play, and that's going to be
the tournament,
a similar skill.
Yeah, the tournament ends up like funneling people into like informal brackets.
Or like where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. And it kind of makes it a better event for everybody.
When you go, like, I've gone like 2-0 or 3-0 in a tournament, and then like Carlos Romao, is he a Rivals member? He might be. He was an MPL member. Oh, he's in the MPL. Was my round 4 opponent.
Yeah.
3-0 and like world champion.
Yeah.
I got. And then like I was like, okay, like we found my ceiling, MPL players. Right. But you do that kind of thing where, like, you know, if you start out with like Carlos Romao round 1, right? Maybe you claw your way back if your ceiling is, you know, 6-2, 5-3.
Yeah.
But you don't have those like crazy pairings early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they don't move to like the Mythic Championship, like Arena Mythic Championship thing, because that would be, I think it would like simplify their tournament, like structure.
Yeah. I think it would hurt entry though.
It would really suck for, right? So like me, I was dead for day 2. Right. I was, you know, 4-2-1. Well, I guess I was 1-2-1 after. I didn't get my draw round 3 or round 4. Anyway, wherever I got my draw, I was dead.
Right.
I still got to play like 3 rounds of Magic and like
have good games.
Yeah, and I ended up like, you know, 140th or something, which wasn't great, but like an 800-person tournament.
It was better than only playing 4 rounds.
Yeah, and then like just like, oh, I guess I have to go spend more money on side events if I want to do something.
Yeah.
So like if they got rid of that, that would like really suck.
Yeah.
But like from their side, I can see it where like you just are constantly cutting out. Oh, you got your 3rd loss. You have to. You're force dropped.
Yeah.
So we force drop you.
It also makes draws way worse.
Yeah, like they're super punishing.
Yeah.
I went on the MTG ELO project.
Yeah.
Which ranks your ELO based on your GP results.
Yeah.
I have 4 draws in GPs.
Whew.
They're all in the last 2 GPs I've played.
Man,
I don't know if
I've ever drawn in a GP.
I don't know if I'm like super slow now, but it was like I got a draw against Miracles, Teamer Delver, and then like punishing Jund in or punishing Loam in Legacy, and then that stupid Jeskai Fires match that I should have won, and I was just like, God, this is awful.
Yeah, I meant to check that website after you sent me the message, and I forgot about it.
Also, you're looking at number 3,633 in the world.
Congratulations.
That's right. My ELO is like 1752. Yours is 1603.
All right.
Logan's is 1653. Cameron's is 1400 and change.
Oh, wow.
You start at 1500.
Oh, okay.
Mine dips down and it just goes up.
Yeah.
I've had some good runs. But, like, you can look at the average ELO of who you played in a tournament. And, like, I have, like, one or two where, like, my average ELO opponent was, like, 1800.
Oh.
And you're just like, that was a rough day. Okay, then. But, yeah, like, you lose that ability to, like, just keep playing. And I guess, like, if there's no Planeswalker points, you're not trying to grind out Planeswalker points.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah, and I guess,
like,
else. Like, just force chopping people off the back of your tournament.
Yeah.
But then, like, does it make... I mean,
that is one way to make Walter more stable, is to
not have to use Walter as long. But I guess part of the problem is so, like, if you, like, do that, and then day 2 you start fresh, right? Are you just like, okay, you've got to go 6-0 to make top 8? Like, basically, it's like there's gonna be, you know, probably 100 to 200 people that make day 2, maybe, and then hey, you've got to go 6-0.
Yeah.
Into is 6-0 a clean cut? I think it depends on how big day 2 is. But, like, I don't know what the number would have to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Right? Is it like
tournament math I am not accustomed to.
Yeah, but is it like 9 rounds and you have to go 6, like win 6 or lose 4 on day 1 to make sure that day 2 is small enough that you can win 6?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Because, like that might be, like, you play till you win 6 or you lose 4, and then you're done.
That might be too much.
Why? Because, like, you would still get 9 rounds in day 1, like it used to be, which it still is now.
You could get 10 rounds in round 1.
No, because when you lost 4, you're out.
Right. So if you went 5-0 and then lose, well, I guess that's 8 rounds. Yeah,
it's 8 rounds.
So it'd be 9 rounds.
Yeah, so you would be capped at 9. You're either going to be 6-3 or 5-4.
Yeah.
But then you do that, and then that makes day 2, because, like, they still play 9 rounds day 1.
Right.
It's just that the 9th round is like day 2 because it makes it smaller, so it's more manageable. But yeah, I mean, that's something that we'll have to, like, see. This is a classic Wizards announcement.
Yeah.
Of, hey,
we're doing this. We don't have any information though. So
yeah, it was like an announcement of an announcement. We're getting rid of GPs or GP buys.
Yeah.
Is there anything in its place? Not right now.
Yeah, no. We'll let you know when we figure it out.
And there's the fractional invite system.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is, again, I didn't know all the details, but I did hear that to start to earn fractional invites, guess where you have to finish in the GP?
Top 16?
Top 64.
Top 64. All right.
Best I've ever done is 102. You would have made it, right? You got 63rd?
No, I got a 50th.
You're your 50th? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you would have got part of an invite.
Woohoo!
Right? So, that is the first change.
Yeah.
So, Jace, who plays predominantly on Magic Online, doesn't get to earn buys. Doesn't think it's fair that we have buys. Fine. But then they went and changed Magic Online on Jace.
Yeah, I didn't read a whole bunch of this because I don't play Magic Online.
Basically, what they've done is they've changed how you qualify for Magic Online PTQs.
And the mocks, right?
In the mocks. The one that I think people were most fired about was the PTQs. Because before you could just pay like $30 and enter the PTQ.
Right. You can't do that anymore?
There are like basically PPTQs.
So you got to qualify for the PTQ.
That are like 9 rounds on like a Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Like they're like honest to God giant tournaments.
Wow.
And then you have to win that.
Yeah.
And then that qualifies you for... So they have like qualifying points. And it takes 40 qualifying points to enter a PTQ.
Okay.
If you win one of these like qualifying tournaments, you get 40 points.
Okay.
If you finish second, you get 20 points.
Okay, so you can chain a couple of them together.
You can chain a couple of them together. If you 5-0 a league, you get 4 points.
Oh, boy.
So you have to 5-0 10 leagues, or you have to spike one of these...
Massive PPTQs?
Yeah. to do it. And so people were like, I liked it when I could just like
give you my money.
Yeah, spend $30.
Yeah.
Now it's spend $30 on the PTQ.
Yeah.
Or the PPTQ, and then you get to play in the PTQ for free if you
make it.
If you make it.
Yeah.
So it's like just added this extra like gate on the Magic Online system. And a lot of people like Yeoman5, who writes for our affiliate website, TCG Player.
He does.
Look at that. Synergy TCG. You want more of that? He's like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to like maintain a job and still be competitive in Magic and playing PTQs because like I can't like play a like big tournament in the middle of the week to maybe play a big tournament on the weekend. Like it doesn't like I can't set aside that kind of time.
Yeah, I mean 9 rounds is like 10 hours at least.
Yeah, and you have to like wait for all the rounds to finish. It's not like a league where you like
you
finish your game and you finish your game in 20 minutes. I'm in again. Right. And like, you know, even when you're good, like 5-0ing a league is not trivial. Yeah. Like 5-0ing any Magic event is not trivial. Right. You're like, oh, I drew 8 lands this game in like 2 spells.
Sometimes that happens.
Well, I guess I lost. I participated in this game of Magic. And then you're like, oh, I guess I get half as many qualifying points. Yeah. Sigh. So, yeah, they've just kind of, like, blown that whole thing.
Is that the only way you get points is for a 5-0? You don't get any points for a 4-1?
I think you get, like, 2 for a 4-1. I think it's the same kind of... There's, like, a 10x multiplier for that. All right. So, this was the spot in the podcast that we were going to put playing in paper.
Yeah, we went a little long talking about everything that happened that Wizards
forever.
Gave us.
Yes.
So... Sorry.
We're gonna hold on to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
If you crush and you need to know what to do after your round, ask a friend. But we will
hit us up.
Yeah, we will be there for you.
Yeah, send us a message.
I do believe Jason just sent me a GIF of people dancing, and that is fine if you want to dance post round. Usually not in front of your opponent, like doing the stanky leg or whatever in front of your opponent after you win is probably not where you want to be. Did you see what Brad Nelson did at the end of...
I didn't.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think I've done a dance before when I've won.
Yes.
At least once.
Yes. So, real quick. So, at the end of the Mythic Championship, I don't know if you know what Kanister's MO is on Arena. He just spends the whole time spamming emotes.
Okay.
Like, your go, thinking, oops, just constantly, like, you're going people.
Okay.
During the Mythic Championship, right? Like, this is... Like, he sent out a tweet, like, I hope I'm doing a good job of making Magic good television.
Okay.
To the point where Seth Manfield played him in top 8. The first thing Seth Manfield did was went into his settings and disabled emotes.
Yeah.
Multiple people muted him. And so Brad Nelson had disabled emotes in the finals and was going to a giant Corvold. So he went into his settings and enabled emotes and was like, thinking, roped himself out, thinking. Kanister's like, you're going. They just show Kanister like leaned back, head on his hands, like just like, you know, like I guess I had this coming, and like Nelson like roped down to almost like use all of his timeouts, was on his last rope, and then played a land. And how when you play a land, it jumps back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it jumped back up, and he was like thinking, and then he conceded. He was super dead the whole time, but just like slow rolled him the whole time, which was pretty great because like Kanister just like spams emotes to the point where like people just go in and the first thing they do is they mute him.
Yeah.
And I think he does it just to like goof around and like maybe make it a little bit better because like it's something that the commentators talk about.
Yeah.
So
my emotes are always off.
Mine are too. So if you run into me, I'm not ignoring you. I just ignore everyone.
Yeah. I ignore everybody the same.
Yes. So there you go. So there was a little bit of something. Don't do that in paper. Yeah, don't just your go people. Your go. Anyway, so we're gonna save all the paper stuff. Like I said, the post match stuff, just because I don't want to edit another hour and 50-minute podcast.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It'll be next week.
So. People would ask you what maybe they should look at playing in Pioneer.
Yeah, the format got super shook up with last week's bans.
Yeah.
And I had a couple people ask me at the game store where I thought Pioneer was right now, and it wasn't something I had put a whole lot of thought into, so I thought maybe we could talk about it real quick.
Yeah. So I tweeted out yesterday that 3 of the top 4 decks in the Pioneer PTQ, I didn't go check today.
I guess there was a problem with them posting the results and they're not out yet.
Yes, I saw that. But someone tweeted out that 3 of the top 4 decks were blue-green Nissa.
Yeah.
It was Oko, Nissa, Hydroid Krasis, Llanowar Elves.
Goose Wolf.
Basically, it was basically the food deck.
Yeah.
People were also having good results tweeting Embercleave decks.
Okay.
So I think it was like the kind of the Zan Syed deck from the Invitational, like trying to go like Llanowar Elf into either Gruul Spellbreaker or Rabblemaster, and then just trying to put an Embercleave on it to end the game. They're only playing like 2 Embercleaves.
Yeah.
But again, it's like Questing Beast, Nissa.
Yeah.
Or Questing Beast Vivian, 4-mana Vivian.
Okay.
Basically, the best thing to do in Pioneer is play like Llanowar Elves and then cards that were printed in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks that way.
That is like the absolute best thing to do, is you're just trying to get to your busted cards from this year.
So congratulations, everybody that's been playing Magic this year, because your collection's pretty good.
Yeah, your collection is great. Like, if you started, like, you did it, like, you have, like, Brazen Borrowers played in Legacy.
It is. Have you seen the prices for pretty Brazen Borrowers? Holy moly.
I saw they've gone up. The last time I looked, they were like $30.
Like a foil showcase Brazen Borrower?
Oh, God.
It's $100.
Oh, my God. I should have bought some.
Yeah.
We took our bets on Murderous Riders.
Yeah.
Which I think Murderous Rider is like
I do too.
Borderline like Legacy playable.
Yeah.
I think like we called it when the cards were printed. They're all just do a thing, draw a creature.
Right.
And like just having a short 2-for-1 stapled on all of your cards is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's a lot of like green stuff where you're just trying to get into stuff a little bit faster. There's not...
You mean they banned 10 cards out of green and green's still the best color?
The problem might just be Nykthos.
Maybe. Does this Simic Ramp deck even play Nykthos?
I think it plays a couple Nykthos.
All right.
It might be that Nykthos is part of the problem. Yeah. Like you're just getting too much mana too fast, and like you go
that sounds like Nissa.
Yeah, Nissa, right? You get rid of Once Upon a Time. You need more redundant ways to get a lot of mana. You put Nissa in your deck.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen that a turn 3 Nissa is nigh unbeatable.
Right.
And...
was my stance the whole time.
Yeah. And so, if your deck is 12 1-mana Mana Dorks, the fact that you can go, like, Mana Dork into, like, Dork into Nissa and have, like, a forest untapped.
Yeah.
You get 9 mana on turn 3.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Or more. More.
Yeah.
You just get an absurd amount of mana, right? You go like Nissa, play a Wicked Wolf, kill your thing, untap Krasis. And you go like...
Yep.
And you're like, yep,
we're all done
and
here.
We're out. So, again, I think the format is still super aggressive.
Yeah. There was another Simic deck that I saw. It was like a Simic Stompy list almost.
Yeah.
Which was basically just mono green beats. It ran Amonkhet, Ronus. It ran Steel Leaf Champion, but it was blue for Oko also.
And I think a lot of those decks were also playing Stubborn Denial.
Yeah, yep.
Right, so like the blue is like for Oko, and then you Stubby D people because all of your creatures are
huge.
3-mana giants.
Yeah.
I think I saw a Gulta list.
Okay, I mean, makes sense.
Makes sense. Like it's doing the same thing. You're just playing a giant way ahead of
big.
Right, because I mean, if you go like Dork,
that could probably play Yorvo too, right?
Yeah, but if you go like Dork into Steel Leaf Champion, like that 6 mana off of Gulta,
yeah,
and then like any other like undercosted thing, like an undercosted like 2-mana thing on turn 3, just like does it.
Yeah.
So
you're also a good chunk of the way to Great Henge.
Yeah. Like it just gives you a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think green is where it's at because it's the only way to get ahead on mana.
Yep.
Mox Opal is really good. Affinity has only ever been good in Modern because Mox Opal is busted.
Right.
Right? Like if it was just an artifact aggro deck without Mox Opal,
without emptying your hand on turn 1,
it would not be a deck. And I think these green decks are
basically affinity.
Yeah, you don't get Moxes, you get elves.
Right.
So you just are like elf, and then your Mox Emerald can attack and block.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh, I have 3 lands now. I don't need you anymore, buddy. Like, attack.
It's kind of crazy how having, 8 mana dorks, 1 mana dorks is breaking Pioneer, but the best thing you can find to do with 8 mana dorks in Modern is Shaman of the Pack.
Is to play more mana dorks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, I know there was a stretch where the Leyline of Abundance deck that was in Pioneer, people were trying to make it work in Modern.
Yeah.
It's like, why haven't we been playing this? Like, you just get so much mana.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, no one's playing Nissa in Modern.
Right.
But maybe Nissa-ing someone.
There's also, zero focus on doing anything in Modern right now, so.
Yeah, I just felt so out of I was thinking about Modern, and I'm like, I'm so out of touch. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it's just Pioneer and the occasional Standard thing.
Yeah.
People are tweeting more historic decks than they are modern decks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all of Pioneer is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
There's no spell-based combo.
Right.
And you play a Nissa or you play a 5/4, and there's nothing that deals with any of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, oh, I guess I lose to this now.
So top picks for Pioneer are some sort of Nissa deck, sort of Stompy deck, or
there was a mono white Knights deck that won the PTQ 2 weeks ago. The one that they didn't do bans before because they were like, hey, this PTQ. It was mono white Knights. It was just every 1, 2, and 3 drop that said Knight, and 2 in 4 History of Benalias, 4 Benalish Marshals, and then just Knights. And Knight of the White Orchid, just everything.
Oh, that's cute.
Again, I think it's just being aggressive.
Yeah.
Mono black being the aggressive sticky deck is gone because of Smuggler's Captor.
Yeah.
They got 6 slots in their deck that got propped up by
Smuggler's Copter
because of the 4 copters and then the 2 whatever
Night Market Lookouts.
Yeah. And there aren't enough good cheap black creatures.
Yeah.
To make up for those holes.
Right.
Vampires is also something people are playing.
With Sorin.
Yeah. Because Sorin is an absurd magic card.
Right. Turns out 3 mana Planeswalkers are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of affects the board, but when your whole deck is vampires, he's just absurd.
Yeah.
So again, 3 mana Planeswalkers, aggressive stuff.
Yep.
I wish we could give you more, but
that's what we got.
Yeah, my deck is being slowly banned piece by piece on accident. So
I just want to play Sultai.
Yeah, I mean,
and it turns out it's not good. So
yeah, because I guess the removal's not good enough, right? You get
I honestly
push.
don't know what the whole problem is because Mono Black was supposed to be great because it could apply pressure and play Thoughtseize and Fatal Push. Well, Simic does that too, but
not as much pressure though.
No, it's not but when it does, it's big pressure.
Yeah,
it's playing Tassigers and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Yep. So what else happened in Pioneer today?
No bans.
No bans.
Another week of a semi-stable format.
Yep. Do we think there's going to be any more changes before the new year?
I don't think before the new year. Like I said before, I think they might let it run through December. They're going to go away.
Yep.
And when they come back, because the first PT is Pioneer.
Right.
I think they might make one last set of bans and be like, we're not going to touch this.
I agree. So maybe one more right around the time they start spoilers?
Yeah, and the cards that need ban to bring everything to parity are the elves. You have to
That's so weird.
Right, because green's the only color that lets you get ahead on mana.
Yeah.
And none of the other colors have enough stuff to catch up with green. They go turn 2 Rabble Master what is like a reasonable like 2-mana play in like blue-black for that? Like there's
Gifted Aetherborn.
Gifted Aetherborn. Right, okay, that might be the best thing. Right, but it's just so weird. There's not a good like if you're mono red, you're like, well, I hope I have Wild Slash for that.
Right.
Which I still need to get off my Wild Slashes. Yeah, so I think that like, but then they can't ban all the 1-mana accelerants.
Yeah.
Like that would just be like weird.
It would be so weird.
We're gonna ban Elf, Mystic, and Goose.
Yeah.
Right, then that just looks super weird. And like the bandwidth list right now is just all green cards.
Yeah.
Right, it's
and Field of the Dead.
Field of the Dead and green cards. Was there any other thing that wasn't
Smuggler's
green?
Copter.
Smuggler's Copter. And it's like,
yeah, it's all green cards.
One, maybe you didn't need to ban some of these cards.
Yeah.
Maybe the problem was
1-mana accelerants.
1-mana accelerants in a format that no one has any way to like keep up with that.
Right.
We'll see. But if you're looking to get into Pioneer,
check out the Gruul list. And just be mindful that like hopefully the format will settle some more. Yeah.
Because I just think that looking at like if all of your top 8s are like, you know, if 4, 5, 6 of the decks are playing Llanowar Elves,
and Nissa.
Yeah, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they fix it with leaving all the elves.
Right.
But it would also feel super dumb to ban elves.
Yeah.
Llanowar Elves is now too good for modern Magic.
I guess, man.
Give us better removal.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is.
Like we've just printed trash removal for so many years.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the best removal spell is green.
Yeah.
Right. Abrupt Decay.
Yep.
That's the best removal spell in the format.
It is.
Other than Fatal Push. Oh, I guess I'm green black.
But it's 2 mana. Like if you're trying to, you know what I mean? If you're trying to interact. I don't know.
You break even.
Yeah.
At 2, you're down mana hitting a 1-drop, and you're up mana hitting a 3. Like so, like the best you ever are is even.
Right.
Right. If you like on
if
average,
you average it out. Yeah.
The best you ever are is even.
Right.
Like that's not good enough.
No.
Where Fatal Push, you're like even or ahead.
Right.
Everywhere on the curve. All right, so
we got one more thing to talk about today,
which is Arena.
It is.
How's Arena been going for you?
I have played 0 Arena this week.
How come?
Because ever since the last update, when I go to get into a game, it times me out and closes the program.
Have you tried to reinstall it?
No, I really haven't cared a whole lot.
Fair, because like,
sorry.
Who cares about Standard?
Yeah, I'm being an awful podcast host.
I was super diligent, and I played a bunch of games at the beginning of the week. I think I got like 24 matches in.
Yeah.
There was definitely a hole in the sheet from like I didn't have Is It Flash.
Yeah.
And like that started to show up because of the publishing of the MCQ
deck list.
Yeah. So we just have a giant swath of like off meta, and like 24 is not really enough matches. And then at the end of the weekend, or at the end of the week, I was like, I don't want to like deal with actually caring about any of these games. So I was playing like just some like best of one like garbage games.
Yeah.
And like I'd be like, oh, misclicked there, concede. I also went through like a phase where I was playing like Jeskai Fires.
Yeah.
If you let on like Castle Ardenvale into like Blue Source, I just snap conceded. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with this.
Alrighty then.
I was like, oh, like Forest, okay. Island, Quench, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to deal with this. Like, I don't want to like expend the brain cells to like fight my way through like a wall of counter spells to resolve my 4-mana thing.
Yeah, I tried a couple times. I tried to climb out of my Rebels black hole and sign on to Arena this weekend, and every time it just booted me out, and I didn't care enough to fix it. So
yeah,
maybe I need a new computer. Maybe I need.
'Tis the season.
I don't know. Yeah, it is.
'Tis the season for sale computers.
It is. Maybe I'll go and try and find an open box one on like December 26th.
There you go. I did, because of how good the blue-green flash deck was doing, I did put together tribal can't be countered.
Yeah.
I was going to go super hard into it, but it just ended up being like kind of the blue-green ramp shell.
Mm-hmm.
I made Teamer so I could play 4 Bone Crusher Giants and 2 Chandras.
Yeah.
And 4 main deck Shifting Ceratops.
Woo.
I had an opponent that was blue-green, had a 3 mana held up, and I just slammed a Ceratops, and I was like, enjoy that sabotage. That's not going to do a damn thing. we're not playing serious Magic for winners right now.
Yeah,
We're just
having some fun.
Yeah, it's hard. Like last year at this point, like there was a PPTQ.
Yeah.
That we had to play, so like I played a ton
I really enjoyed
Drakes.
Standard then too.
Yeah, I played a ton of Drakes.
Yeah.
And then
Played a ton of Golgari.
And then like I played that event, I think it was like at the end of December, beginning of January.
Yep.
It was cold.
It was.
That room was unheated. It was cold. We played in the back of an arcade.
Yeah.
So there had a reason to play. Like there's no reason to play.
Right.
And it's just like I don't care.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to play a lot of these games.
It's also kind of disheartening because we've had 3 standard seasons in this standard season. So like how many formats do you realistically want to learn?
Yeah, like maybe that's part of it where I'm just like I had a deck.
Yeah.
I got good with the deck. The deck went away. I had a deck.
Yeah.
I got really good, I thought, with that blue-red flash deck.
Mm-hmm. You certainly got better than I did.
And it went away.
Yep.
And now, like, we kind of have a blue-red flash deck, but it has, like, some, like, holes that are harder to, like, fill.
Yeah.
And that requires me to play Gadwick, which sometimes I think is good. And other times I'm like, why am I tapping out to just die? And then...
that might be part of your problem.
Tapping out and dying?
Well, no, I don't think you always tap out with
No, you don't
Gadwick.
always tap out with him. But just like why am I playing Gadwick?
Yeah.
Like when I played at the GP, I like played a dragon, and my opponent was like, "I thought you were gonna have a Gadwick." No, it's like I want you dead. I don't want to draw 6 cards. I want to kill you. I want to deal you 8 damage in the next 2 turns and end this. Like I have less decisions to mess up if you're just dead. I'm gonna turn this sideways. I'm gonna turn this sideways again. I win. So yeah, so there's just less of a motivation to play Arena right now.
I'm with you.
So hopefully Theros Beyond Death resuscitates Standard, brings it Beyond Death.
Some of the cards look sweet. Some of them I'm a little apprehensive about.
Yeah, the same people that brought us ban half of Eldraine are now going to bring us Throne. Going to bring us Theros.
Yeah.
So
should be interesting.
If you see some cards that are, I don't know, 2 or 3 mana, might just look like hard 2-for-1s, maybe buy some in foil before all the legacy players figure out what's up.
Yeah.
Because like you could have got like Brazen Borrowers cheap.
Yeah, you almost bought some at the GP, right?
Yeah, and then I didn't, and now like so just keep an eye out.
Did in your foil promo packs? Did you open any?
I did not get any foil.
Brazen
Borrowers. I also found out there's a limit on how many arena codes. 5.
Yeah.
So like that sucks.
Yeah.
I like just can't like
redeem any
more codes. I should, if I go back to play, I should just start giving them away.
Yep.
Because I was like, they're like, oh yeah, you've redeemed 5, and I'm like,
does it actually say you've redeemed 5?
Their interface is garbage.
Yeah, mine says you can't redeem. There's a problem redeeming or something.
Yeah, this has already been redeemed. Mine says like it's already been redeemed.
Yeah. And
so I like contacted Wizards, and like the first time like people were like, oh yeah, here it's fixed. And the next time the guy's like, you've redeemed too many. And I'm like, okay, why?
But I have them to redeem.
Yeah, why does my prize have like a cap?
Right.
Hey, good job.
No prize for you.
No prize. Like, oh, thanks. So anyway, if you have some show ideas, get at us at Casual Tripod and like tweet us your questions.
Yep. Or Facebook, Casual Tryhard MTG. Or you can email us, show@casualtryhardmtg.com.
Yeah, and if you are looking to buy some cards online, we suggest TCG Player.
Yeah.
Use the link in the description below.
Or our link on Twitter or our link on Facebook.
Yeah, we're going to like get this thing out in the world because James made it, and so now I clicked on it, and it just took me to TCG Player. It already had the direct box checked.
Yep.
It was good to go.
One thing that you said that I didn't know, make sure when you're using the link, you use it to completion.
Yeah.
Because if you venture off before you check out with your cart, there's a chance that it may still not be linked to our affiliate link.
Yeah, it's the way they described it was like last attribution. They can kind of track the last link you went through, so I don't know how it all works. It's all in
Yeah.
the matrix. If like $1 shows up, like we did it, if we get a check for 65 cents, I'll be like, sweet. We'll just frame that one.
Yeah.
The first time we made money on the podcast, 65 cents. It'll be like Scrooge McDuck's lucky dime.
Perfect.
Just have the lucky 65-cent check. But yeah, so yeah, if you're already gonna buy cards, like we'll have our link. Please like try to help us out. So
that would be great.
We can pay to host the podcast and stuff like that. And with that, we might catch you at F&M.
I'll catch you at F&M. Brian might not.
Jumanji comes out this week.
Yeah, so it's 3 weeks in a row. Brian won't catch you at F&M.
Oh man. All right. See ya. Maybe.
See you guys.